This is my 1991 Chevy S10. It's a 5-speed 4x4 with a 4.3 V6. Today we're going to be replacing the radiator, thermostat housing, and the two main hoses. We're also going to be flushing the whole system. I'll go over everything you need and we'll get started. Alright, so first we got the Motorrad fail-safe thermostat housing, and the thermostat comes included with a new gasket. I then have a AC Delco top line for the radiator and a Continental bottom line for the radiator. And here's the radiator that I got. This is a TYC radiator with the oil cooler and transmission oil cooler plugs. Your truck may or may not have these lines, depending on the year and if it's automatic or manual. My truck does not have these lines at all. So if you're in the same situation and you think you're gonna fill this up and these are gonna leak at all, they're not. These are separate systems. I'm still gonna put plugs in these. I'll show you the plugs that I got, just so you don't have to go searching at the auto parts store like I did for hours. So this I got for the big plug on the left side of the radiator. It's an M20 1.5. It's an oil drain plug actually, but it fits perfectly. And this is the other plug. It's a 3/8 by 5/16 fuel line fitting inverted flare. So you're just going to take one of these rubber hose ends, slide over that, and then twist this, and then install this onto the radiator. I then got 3 gallons of the conventional green antifreeze and coolant. So yeah, another big reason that I'm doing this, other than the leak, is because somebody was putting Dexcool into these engines. These first gen S10s were not meant to have Dexcool in them. It's very corrosive and it can destroy your water pump pretty fast, so I'm gonna have to be doing that soon. I'll make a video on that. I also got 3 gallons of distilled water. Make sure you're using distilled water. Don't use normal spring water or tap water or anything. You can run this through your coolant system and it'll be fine. We're gonna be doing a flush before we put the new radiator in, just to get all the old coolant and rust and debris out of the coolant system before we install a brand new radiator. All right, next we're gonna take out the cover for the radiator. So you're gonna have these 3 bolts. They're gonna be 10 millimeters. Then on the driver's side, right underneath the big main tube, there is a bolt right here. Right here. That we're gonna have to take out, and then one on the other side. All right, so there's that bolt out. Now let's do the other one on the other side. So here's that other 10 millimeter. All right, here's the other bolt out. Just trying to note that these ones, the sharp ones, are the ones that go back into the fan shroud. All right, so before we do anything else, grab yourself a pan or any container, and we're gonna drain the coolant. So make sure to pop off your radiator cap. All right, looks like we're gonna have to remove the skid plate, the plastic skid plate down here. So we're just gonna be taking off this bolt, these 2 bolts, and those 2 bolts. Also, you can see the reason why I'm replacing this radiator. All right, these bolts are gonna be 15 millimeters. So let's go ahead and pop these off. All right, got those 2 out. Let's hope that your threads look a little better than mine. All right, now go ahead, let this plastic drop out. Oh yeah, it's leaking pretty bad. All right, so you can see the drain plug right there. This is on the driver's side. I've set up the new tubing to sit right under the drain plug, I'm just gonna screw that off just enough for all of this to come out right into this pan here. All right, once you got all your coolant drained, you're ready to pour in your distilled water. Go ahead and just fill the radiator all the way up until you can't fill it anymore. Then you can go ahead, start your engine. Once you do that, the water will be sucked through your coolant system. Make sure your heat is all the way on. Yeah, just go ahead and fill it up until you can't fill it up anymore. Then you're ready to take your truck on a little drive. You don't have to go too fast or too far. I just took mine up down the street and back, just enough to get the water through the coolant system and ready to be drained out again. All right, so now we're gonna work on getting the hoses out and the thermostat housing. We're gonna go ahead and get this top hose off. Go ahead and start by loosening this hose clamp and pull it off. So I ended up doing the flush around 3 times, just refilling my radiator and starting the car up, letting it run, letting it all drain out and go through the system a few times, try to get the old coolant out as best as I could. But yeah, just go ahead and try to run distilled water through your engine until you can get it as clear as possible. Now, once you start removing these hoses and the thermostat housing, more coolant will drain out. You're not going to get everything just out of the radiator. But a tip to help is when you're draining it, you can start the car and give it some gas to force some of the remaining coolant out. And remember, as you're doing this, go ahead and chuck your pan underneath the car wherever it's leaking, so you're catching all that extra coolant that's falling out. So you're going to want to be careful of this hose that we're working on. This is the heater core hose. I probably should replace this. Not many people do replace this hose, so make sure it's not cracking and falling apart as you're pulling this out. Just be gentle. All right, now that you got all your hoses disconnected, you should be able to go ahead and lift out that radiator, and holy God, that yep, definitely needs to be replaced. Looks like this thing has been a farm truck in its past life or something. A lot of dirt, debris is dense, a lot of leaves and leftover debris in here. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean this out and get working on thermostat housing. All right, so there's 2 14mm bolts that you're gonna get off. The one in the back, pretty simple. The one up front, there's gonna be a ground connected to it. Maybe yours is different. Here's that bolt with the ground, and here's the back bolt, just a normal one. And once you loosen the thermostat housing, you're gonna hear some coolant pouring out probably. If you didn't prop up your bottom hose, just go ahead and put the bucket underneath where it's leaking and pull out the thermostat housing and try to catch as much as you can. So here's that last hose clamp on the bottom main hose. Just go ahead and loosen this and then yank it off. And again, this is where it's gonna get really messy. So good luck on that. Mine got everywhere. All right, now you're safe to go ahead and pull off the thermostat housing entirely. Just try to clean the surface up as much as possible. I just used my fingernail and scraped it a bunch. And I'm just gonna call it good at that. Put the new gasket in, tighten it down, just enough, not too much, but you don't want it loose. All right, just a little extra thing I'm gonna do. You guys don't have to do this, but I'm gonna go ahead and take out the coolant reservoir, also known as the overflow, clean it up. I'm gonna put some water in it, shake it around, and just drain it out. Just try to get it as clean as possible and ready for the new coolant. All right, now you're good to drop in your new radiator. Just make sure everything's lined up and fits in properly. Just take a look around, inspect everything. Just make sure the fitment is proper, and then you are ready to go ahead and start doing the reverse of putting your hoses on. Make sure to put both of your hose clamps on your hoses before you install them. And once you install both of your main hoses, make sure that the hose for the heater core and the reservoir are tight. Make sure all your hose clamps are tight. If they are not, it will leak out. It's a pressurized system, so it'll any crevice it can, it'll leak out on you. So just make sure you tighten up everything, check it a few times, leave your cap open, let the system air out, and you should be good to go.